Miklos Radnoti was a Hungarian Jewish poet, and according to his English translator, one day at the start of World War II, one of Radnoti's friends saw him on the streets of Budapest, and the poet was mumbling something like, "Da-da, da-da, da-da, da-da." And his friend said, "Don't you understand? Hitler is invading Poland." And Radnoti supposedly answered, "Yes, but this is the only thing I have to fight with."
If a samurai's head were to be suddenly cut off, he should still be able to perform one more action with certainty. What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
It's poetry. The poetry of war.
We lived happily during the war, by Ilya, Kaminsky. And when they bombed other people's houses, we protested, but not enough. We opposed them, but not enough. I was in my bed. Around my bed, America was falling. Invisible house, by invisible house, by invisible house. I took a chair outside and watched the sun. In the 6th month of a disastrous reign, in the house of money, in the street of money, in the city of money, in the country of money, our great country of money. We, forgive us, lived happily during the war.
Why We Fight by Edgar Albert Guest. This is the thing we fight. A cry of terror in the night, a ship on work of mercy bent, a carrier of the sick and maimed beneath the cruel waters sent, and those that did it, unashamed. A woman who had tried to fill a mother's place, had nursed the ill and soothed the troubled brows of pain, and earned the dying's grateful prayers before a wall by soldiers slain. And such a poor pretext was theirs. Old women pierced by bayonets grim, and babies slaughtered for a whim. Cathedrals made the sport of shells, no mercy even for a child, as though the imps of all the hells were crazed with drink and running wild. All this we fight, that someday, when good sense shall come again to men, our children's children may not read this age's history thus defamed, and find we served a selfish creed, and ever be of us ashamed.
Combat with your shield, or on it.
piece of earth that I am meek and gentle with these butchers. Thou art the ruin of the noblest man that ever lived in a tide of times. Woe to the hand that shed this costly blood. Over thy wounds now do I prophesy. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hand of war. And Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc. And let slip the dogs of war.
To Lucasta, Going to the Wars, by Richard Lovelace. Tell me not, sweet, I am unkind, that from the nunnery of thy chaste breast and quiet mind to war and arms I fly. True, a new mistress now I chase, the first foe in the field, and with a stronger faith embrace a sword, a horse, a shield. Yet this inconstancy is such as you too shall adore. I could not love thee, dear, so much, loved I not honor more.
I'd like to share Ralph Waldo Emerson's Concord hymn, a poem he wrote to commemorate the completion of the battle monument, to honor the fallen heroes of the battles of Lexington and Concord in the Revolutionary War, and to invoke the enduring spirit of patriotism that inspires us down to the present day. By the rude bridge that arched the flood, their flag to April's breeze unfurled. Here once the embattled farmers stood and fired the shot heard round the world. The foe long since in silence slept, alike the conqueror in silence sleeps. In time the ruined bridge has swept down the dark stream which seaward creeps. On this green bank, by this soft stream, we set today a votive stone, that memory may their deed redeem, when like our sires, our sons are gone. Spirit that made those heroes dare to die and leave their children free, bid time and nature gently spare the shaft we raise to them and thee.
The Charge of the Light Brigade by Alfred Lord Tennyson. Half a league, half a league, half a league onward, all in the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, charge for the guns, he said, into the valley of death rode the 600. Forward the Light Brigade, was there a man dismayed? Not though the soldier knew someone had blundered. Theirs not to make reply, theirs not to reason why, theirs but to do and die. Into the valley of death rode the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon in front of them, volleyed and thundered. Stormed at with shot and shell, boldly they rode, and well, into the jaws of death, into the gates of hell, rode the 600. flashed all their sabres bare, flashed as they turned in air, sabre in the gunners there, charging an army, whilst all the world wondered. Plunged in the battery smoke, right through the line they broke. Cossack and Russian reeled from the sabre stroke, shattered and sundered. Then they rode back, but not the 600. Cannon to right of them, cannon to left of them, cannon behind them, volleyed and thundered, stormed at with shot and shell, while horse and hero fell. They that had fought so well came through the jaws of death, back from the mouth of hell, all that was left of them, left of 600. When can their glory fade? Oh, the wild charge they made. All the world wondered. Honour the charge they made. Honour the Light Brigade. Noble 600.
I'm a native of the Isle, was born among old Erin's bogs when I was but a child. My father fought in '98 for liberty so dear. He fell upon old Vinegar Hill like an Irish volunteer. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers. Then raise the harp of Erin, boys, the flag we all revere. We'll fight and fall beneath its folds like Irish volunteers.
Beat, Beat Drums by Walt Whitman. Beat, beat drums, blow, bugles blow, through the windows, through doors, burst like a ruthless force, into the solemn church, and scatter the congregation, into the school where the scholar is studying. Leave not the bridegroom quiet, no happiness must he have now with his bride, nor the peaceful farmer any peace, ploughing his field or gathering his grain. So fierce you were and pound you drums, so shrill you bugles blow.
Modern hero, my name is Paddy Carney. Not long ago I landed from the bogs of sweet Killarney. I used to cry out so fat because that was my trade, sir, till I listed for a soldier boy with Corcoran's Brigade, sir, for to fight for Uncle Sam. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, he'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars.
Drums, blow, bugles blow, over the traffic of cities, over the rumble of wheels in the streets. Are beds prepared for sleepers at night in the houses? No sleepers must sleep in those beds. No bargainers bargains by day, no brokers or speculators. Would they continue? Would the talkers be talking? Would the singer attempt to sing? Would the lawyer rise in the court to state his case before the judge? Then rattle quicker, heavier drums, you bugles wilder blow.
We soon men got into battle, we made a charge of bayonets. The rebel blackguards soon gave way, they fell as thick as peanuts. Och, on the slaughter that we made, with that it was delighting. For the Irish lads in action are the devil's boys for fighting. They'll fight for Uncle Sam, he'll lead us on to glory, ho. He'll lead us on to glory, ho, to save the stripes and stars.
Drums, blow, bugles blow. Make no parley, stop for no expostulation. Mind not the timid, mind not the weeper or prayer. Mind not the old man beseeching the young man. Let not the child's voice be heard, nor the mother's entreaties. Make even the trestles to shake the dead where they lie awaiting the hearses. So strong you thump, O terrible drums, so loud you bugles blow.
A Cry to Arms by Henry Timrod. Ho, woodsmen of the mountainside! Ho, dwellers in the vales! Ho, ye who by the chafing tide have roughened in the gales! Leave barn and byre, leave kin and cot, lay by the bloodless spade, let desk and case and counter rot, and burn your books of trade. The despot roves your fairest lands, and till he flies or fears, your fields must grow but armed bands, your sheaves be sheaves of spears. Give up to mildew and to rust the useless tools of gain, and feed your country's sacred dust with floods of crimson rain. Come, with the weapons at your call, with musket, pike, or knife, he wields the deadliest blade of all, who lightest holds his life. The arm that drives its unbought blows with all a patriot's scorn might brain a tyrant with a rose, or stab him with a thorn. Does any falter? Let him turn to some brave maiden's eyes, and catch the holy fires that burn in those sublunar skies. Oh, could you like your women feel, and in their spirit march? A day might see your lines of steel beneath the victor's arch. What hope, oh God, would not grow warm when thoughts like these give cheer? The lily calmly braves the storm, and shall the palm tree fear? No, rather let its branches court the rack that sweeps the plain, and from the lily's regal port learn how to breast the strain. Ho, woodsmen of the mountain side! Ho, dwellers in the vales! Ho, ye who by the roaring tide have roughened in the gales! Come, flocking gaily to the fight, from forest, hill, and lake, we battle for our country's right and for the lily's sake.
And now before I end my song, this free advice I'll tender: we soon will use the rebels up and make them all surrender. And once again the stars and stripes will to the breeze be swelling, if Uncle Abe will give us back our darling boy McClellan. We'll follow little Ma, he'll lead us on to glory, oh, he'll lead us on to glory, oh, to save the stripes and stars.
If we must die, let it not be like hogs hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our cursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men we'll face the murderous, cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying but fighting back.
Requiem for the Croppies. The pockets of our great coats full of barley, no kitchens on the run, no striking camp. We moved quick and sudden in our own country. The priest lay behind ditches with the tramp. A people hardly marching on the hike. We found new tactics happening each day. We'd cut through reins and rider with the pike, and stampede cattle into infantry, then retreat through hedges where cavalry must be thrown, until on Vinegar Hill, the fatal conclave, 20,000 died, shaking scythes at cannon. The hillside blushed, soaked in our broken wave. They buried us without shroud or coffin, and in August the barley grew up out of the grave.
By Padraic Pierce. I do not grudge them, Lord, I do not grudge my 2 strong sons that I have seen go out to break their strength and die. They and a few, in bloody protest for a glorious theme, they shall be spoken of among their people. The generations shall remember them and call them blessed. But I will speak their names to my own heart in the long nights, the little names that were familiar once round my dead heart. Lord, thou art hard on mothers. We suffer in their coming and their going, and though I grudge them not, I weary of the long sorrow, and yet I have my joy. My sons were faithful and they fought.
The war began, have written lots of things about our gallant soldier lads which no one ever sings. Although the words are very good, the lilt they seem to miss. For Tommy likes a tricky song, the song that goes like this. Here we are, here we are, here we are again. There's Pat and Mac and Tommy and Jack and Joe. When there's trouble brewing, when there's something doing, are we downhearted? No, let them all come. Here we are.
In wiser days, my darling rosebud, blown to beauty as was your mother's prime, in that desired delayed, incredible time. You'll ask why I abandoned you, my own, and the dear heart that was your baby thrown to dice with death. And oh, they'll give you rhyme and reason. Some will call the thing sublime, and some decry it in a knowing tone. So here, while the mad guns curse overhead, and tired men sigh with mud for couch and floor, know that we fools, now with the foolish dead, died not for flag, nor king, nor emperor, but for a dream, born in a herdsman's shed, and for the secret scripture of the poor.
With proud thanksgiving, a mother for her children, England mourns for her dead across the sea. Flesh of her flesh they were, spirit of her spirit, fallen in the cause of the free. Solemn the drums thrill, death august and royal sings sorrow up into immortal spheres. There is music in the midst of desolation, and a glory that shines upon our tears. They went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eye, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with their faces to the foe. They shall grow not old as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning we will remember them. They mingle not with their laughing comrades again. They sit no more at familiar tables of home. They have no lot in our labour of the daytime. They sleep beyond England's foam. But where our desires are, and our hopes profound, felt as a wellspring that is hidden from sight, to the innermost heart of their own land they are known, as the stars are known to the night, as the stars that shall be bright when we are dust, moving in marches upon the heavenly plain, as the stars that are starry in the time of our darkness, to the end they remain.
In Flanders fields the poppies blow between the crosses, row on row, that mark our place, and in the sky the larks still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead. Short days ago we lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved. And now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe. To you from failing hands we throw the torch. Be yours to hold it high. If ye break faith with us who die, we shall not sleep, though poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Blicke weiß ich, mein Lebenskampf ist nicht umsonst gekämpft. Sein Sowjetzeichen soll er vor sich hertragen, und wir werden in unserem Zeichen wieder siegen.
Our world, how did it become free? Only through a long and unceasing struggle inspired by men of vision. All believed that in the sight of God all men were created equal, and from that there developed a spirit among men and nations which is best expressed in our own Declaration of Freedom. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. It is the cornerstone upon which our nation was built and the ideal of all the great liberators. Washington, Jefferson, Garibaldi, Lafayette, Kosciuszko, Bolivar, Lincoln. Lighthouses lighting up a dark and foggy world.
That government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Fighting, living, dying. For what? For freedom. That for which men have fought since time began. To be free.
Is life so dear, or peace so sweet, as to be purchased at the price of chains and slavery? Forbid it, Almighty God. I know not what course others may take, but as for me, give me liberty, or give me death.
The war came. Here is a poem that tried to meet it with a kind of desperate optimism. It was written in June 1940, after the great attacks, and is called The Bloody Song. It is not bad. Let them play. Let the guns bark and the bombing plane speak his prodigious blasphemies. It is not bad. It is high time. Stark violence is still the sire of all the world's values. What but the wolf's tooth whittled so fine the fleet limbs of the antelope? What but fear winged the birds, and hunger jeweled with such eyes the great goshawk's head? Violence has been the sire of all the world's values. Who would remember Helen's face, lacking the terrible halo of spears? Who formed Christ but Herod and Caesar, the cruel and bloody victories of Caesar? Violence, the bloody sire of all the world's values. Never weep, let them play. Old violence is not too old to beget new values.
Now I wished I had a bushel, wished I had a peck, wished I had old Hitler with a rope around his neck.
Hey, round, round, Hitler's grave, round, round we go. Gonna lay that poor boy down, he won't get up no more.
Mussolini won't last long, tell you the reason why. We're gonna salt his beef and hang it up to dry.
Hey, round, round, Hitler's grave, round, round we go. Gonna lay that poor boy down, he won't get up no more.
The German army general staff, I guess they missed connection. Went 100 miles a day, but in the wrong direction.
Hey, round, round, Hitler's grave, round, round we go. Gonna lay that poor boy down, he won't get up no more.
Never say that there is only death for you, though leaden skies may be concealing days of blue. For the hour that we have hungered for is near. Beneath our tread, the earth shall tremble. We are here.
Nog eens geen maal vergezen westen weg. God hemel und Laien en verstellen blije weg. Komme het nach unser Volk gewünschte Schau.
From land of palm tree to the far-off land of snow, we shall be coming with our torment and our woe, and everywhere our blood has sunk into the earth, shall our bravery, our vigour blossom forth.
Vom grünen, kalten Land, dieses weiten Land von Schnee, Wir kommen an mit unserer Bein, mit unserer Weg. Und wo gefallen ist der Spritz von unser Blut, spritzen wird dort unser Wohle, unser Mut.
We'll have the morning sun to set our days aglow, and all our yesterdays shall vanish with the foe. And if the time is long before the sun appears, then let this song go like a signal through the years.
Doch ist keinmal auf der Gänse letzten Weg, Gott Himmel und Laien und verstellen neue Weg. Kommen ist nach unser ausgewünschte Show, so der Volkster unser Tod, wir seien es doch.
This song was written with our blood and not with lead. It's not a song that birds sing overhead. It was a people among toppling barricades that sang this song of ours with pistols and grenades. So never say that there is only death for you, though leaden skies may be concealing days of blue. For the hour that we have hungered for is near. Beneath our tread, the earth shall tremble. We are here.
Esta es Radio Sandino, voz de la liberación de Nicaragua, voz oficial del Frente Sandinista que transmite en la onda corta, banda internacional de los 41 metros, desde algún lugar de Nicaragua hasta las 11 de la noche de toda Nicaragua.
My great aunt must be glued to her radio. My mother and brothers in Honduras glued to our voices, this voice that comes in clandestinely every night, broadcasting till dawn, reaching perhaps as far as a building in Mexico City to those who wait in exile, the dial's amber light, glancing off expectant worried faces. One more voice in the family group attentive to this voice. This hope that filters through cracks in windows, indoors, crosses streets, bridges, rushing water. This voice unleashing torrential rains to the last report, the last voices, until the rainstorm ends and only the humidity remains, the patter of drops until dawn.
Radio Sandino presents its news report, Guerrilla Drum. Battle communique from the High Command. 1. The High Command of the Rigoberto Lopez Perez Western Front reports that at 10:30 a.m., the general barracks of Somoza's National Guard in the city of León were definitively occupied. All the city's church bells are ringing madly and the people are in the streets celebrating its total liberation. 2. Our forces recovered all weaponry and ammunition belonging to the genocidal guard. Their commander, General Ariel Arguello, was shot down while trying to escape, shielded by a defenseless woman who was rescued by our troops. 3. Our commander, Guadalupe Moreno, fell heroically at 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon as he directed the attack on the command post.
¡Viva el comandante Guadalupe Moreno! ¡Viva el comandante Tito Castillo! ¡Viva el comandante Oscar Pérez! ¡Viva el comandante Roger de Jong! ¡Viva el comandante Edgar! ¡Viva el comandante Carlos Jarquín! ¡Vivan las heroicas compañeras Idania Fernández y Araceli Pérez! ¡Vivan todos los héroes y mártires caídos en la ciudad de León! ¡La victoria será nuestra! ¡Patria libre o morir! Compañeros trabajadores de Nicaragua, sigamos el glorioso ejemplo de nuestros hermanos leoneses.
Comrade workers of Nicaragua, let us follow the glorious example of our brothers and sisters in León. More organization, greater and greater struggle. Everyone to join the struggle of the Sandinistas, everyone to the popular insurrection. Somoza is on his way out. The people will remain. Victory is ours.
La victoria es nuestra.
On the peaceful forces of Managua, in every neighborhood, on every block, in every house, strengthen unity and organization in response to the tyrant's cowardly and genocidal bombs. Don't let terror diminish our fighting spirit. Heroic people of Managua, you are not alone. Somoza has been defeated in every part of the country. Increase your efforts. Fight better. Join with them in this final battle. Everyone against the dictatorship. Everyone out into the streets. Everyone to war. There is no longer an alternative to struggle.
Let this orphanage of exile and of banishment be over now. The coming and going on damp and misty streets, this creak of musty bones, dark days like one interminable night.
11 p.m. in all of Nicaragua. Guerrilla Drum brings you the news. We've won the war. The dictatorship is defeated.
From Radio Sandino, Guerrilla Drum until the last notes, until the last voices, until the fires of the last battles have gone out, until it is dawn in all of Nicaragua. From Radio Sandino, Guerrilla Drum, keep on bringing you the news.
Por las calles viene un canto anunciando amanecida. Al asalto, compañeros, vamos muchachos, vamos para arriba. Al asalto, compañeros, vamos muchachos, vamos para arriba. Fortalecer la unidad garantiza la victoria de un pueblo que se levanta junto a la clase trabajadora. De un pueblo que se levanta junto a la clase trabajadora. A la carga, compañeros, que aquí la guitarra grita. El Salvador está venciendo, vamos muchachos, vamos para arriba. A la carga, compañeros, que aquí la guitarra...
Katyusha rockets. The 107s have a crackling sound of fire and electricity, of air-ruckled heat. And when they pinwheel over the rooftops of Haman al-Alil, they just keep going, traveling for years over the horizon to land in the meridians of Divisadero Street, where I'm standing early one morning on a Memorial Day in Fresno, California. The Veterans Parade scattering at the impact, mothers shielding their children by instinct, old war vets crouching behind automobiles as police set up an outer cordon for the unexploded ordnance. Rockets often fall in the night sky of the skull. Down long avenues of the brain's myelin sheathing over synapses and the rough structures of thought, they fall into the hippocampus, into the seat of memory, where lovers and strangers and old friends entertain themselves, unaware of the dangers headed their way, or that I will need to search among them the way the bomb disposal tech walks tethered and alone down Divisadero Street, suited up as if walking on the moon's surface, as the crowd watches just how determined he is to dismantle death, to take it apart piece by piece. The bravest thing I've ever seen.
I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, routing Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Well, I was with Custer and the 7th, 76 or 77, scalped that little bighorn by the Sioux. And the tears and devastation of a once proud warrior nation, this I know, 'cause I was riding with them too. And I drank mare's blood on the run when I rode with the great Khan on the frozen Mongol steppe while at his height. And I was a white guard, I was a red guard, I was the Tsar's own palace horse guard when Romanov was murdered in the night. And I knew Saladin and rode his swift Arabians, harassing Doom's crusaders on the heavy drafts. And yet I rode the Percheron against the circling Saracen, and once again against myself was cast. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, routing Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Well, I've worn the mighty's crimson. If you're silent and you'll listen, you'll know that it was with them that I stood. When Mare Thorpe, she cried as her 4 horsemen died, gunned down in scarlet coldest blood. Well, I was the firstest with the mostest when I fought for Bedford Forest, suffered General Wilson's Union raid. And mine was not the reason why, mine was but to do or die at Crimea with the charging light brigade. On high from Swiss or Sweden, be me Christian, be me heathen, the devil to the saber I shall put. With a crack flanking maneuver, I'm a new land a la Suber, striking terror into regiment of foot. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, routing Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. Well, I knew my days were numbered when o'er the trenches lumbered more modern machinations de la guerre. No match for rapid fire or the steel birds of the sky. With a final rearguard action, I retreat. No match for barbed wire or the armored engines whine. Reluctant, I retire and take my leave. Today I ride with special forces on those wily Afghan horses. To Stone's Northern Alliance give their thanks. And no matter defeat or victory in battle, it occurs to me that we may see a swelling in our ranks. Well, I'm a hussar, I'm a Hun, I'm a wretched Englishman, routing Bonaparte at Waterloo. I'm a dragoon on a dun, I'm a Cossack on the run, I'm a horse soldier, timeless through and through. I'm a horse soldier, eternal through and through.